where the boundary between human genius and the infinite unknown is as thin as a single thread, we find the monuments of our greatest audacity. This journey uncovers secrets carved in stone and forged in light, architectural marvels that redefine the very limits of our world. From ancient whispers to futuristic mirages, these structures hold stories that have remained hidden until now. Before we unveil these wonders, subscribe and hit the notification bell to join our global network of explorers. And we want to know, please let us know in the comments which country you are watching from today. Rising like a gleaming white harp from the Texas soil, the Margaret Hunt Hill Bridge is a beacon of modern structural art. Designed by the world-renowned architect Santiago Calatrava and opened in 2012, this cable-stayed bridge spans the Trinity River, serving as a gateway to downtown Dallas. Its most striking feature is the 400-foot-tall central arch, which supports the roadway with an intricate web of 58 white cables. The engineering focuses on a torsion box design to handle the massive tension of the suspension system, blending aesthetic beauty with rigorous mathematical stability. To the observer, the bridge looks like a futuristic bow, poised to fire an arrow into the heart of the American dream. When the harsh Texas sun hits the polished steel, the structure vibrates with a crystalline light, embodying the restless spirit of progress and urban renewal. There is a sense of divine order in its geometry, a feeling that human calculation has finally harmonized with the vastness of the sky. Dallas residents often claim that this bridge is the very soul of the city made visible. Can a structure of cold steel and concrete truly capture the rhythm of the wind? Or is it merely a cage for the passing clouds? Step back and prepare for a spectacle of impossible speed. But be warned, the ground beneath your feet was replaced in the time it takes to have a long dream. The Sanyuan Bridge in Beijing became a global sensation in 2015 when engineers completed a total reconstruction of its main spans in just 43 hours. This critical traffic hub, connecting the airport expressway and the Third Ring Road, utilized a prefabricated method where massive steel sections were moved into place using specialized heavy-duty transporters. The engineering was a surgical operation on a grand scale, requiring the perfect synchronization of thousands of variables to avoid paralyzing the city's pulse. Visually, the bridge looks like a massive surgical graft, its clean steel lines cutting through the chaotic urban sprawl like a sharp blade. Under the harsh glare of construction floodlights, the scene takes on an eerie, supernatural quality, as if the bridge were being summoned from another dimension rather than built. There is a chilling local superstition that time itself was warped to meet the deadline, leaving time pockets where the air feels unnaturally still. Never check your watch while crossing during the midnight hour. The bridge remembers the 43 hours of madness. Is that the hum of traffic you hear, or the frantic ticking of a clock that refused to stop for the workers' exhaustion? Do not trust the stillness of the water, for beneath this concrete titan lies an abyss that could swallow a cathedral. The Strapy boat lift in Wallonia is a gargantuan monument to human dominance over geography. Standing at a staggering height of 117 meters, it was the largest boat lift in the world upon its completion in 2002. This massive engineering feat allows 350-ton vessels to bypass a 73-meter height difference in the Canal du Centre. The system operates on two independent counterweighted caissons, each supported by 11,200 tons of balance, moving vertically like a slow-motion guillotine for ships. The sheer scale of the concrete pillars and the maze of steel cables creates an atmosphere of overwhelming industrial dread. Visually, the structure appears as a colossal gray ribcage of a forgotten god, rising from the Belgian plains to hold the river captive in midair. When the evening mist rolls in, the concrete surfaces turn a ghostly pale, and the shadows of the massive pulleys look like hooded figures guarding the gateway to another world. There are rumors of strange vibrations felt by sailors as they ascend, a low hum that sounds like a morning song for the earth moved to build it. Don't look directly into the dark depths of the lift shaft. Is that the reflection of the sun on the water, or the watchful eye of something trapped in the gears? In the heart of Seoul, the Banpo Bridge transforms the Han River into a breathtaking theater of liquid light. Known globally for its Moonlight Rainbow Fountain, this bridge holds the Guinness World Record for the longest bridge fountain on the planet. Installed in 2009, it features nearly 10,000 LED nozzles that spray 190 tons of water per minute along its 140-meter length. The sophisticated technical system pumps water directly from the Han River, recycling it in a continuous, eco-friendly loop that dances to programmed music. To the viewer, the bridge looks like a translucent phoenix spreading its wings, a curtain of neon rainbows cascading into the dark, flowing water below. As the vibrant lights flicker against the midnight sky, it feels as though the bridge is breathing in perfect sync with the city's frantic pulse. There is a sacred stillness hidden within the mist, a moment where the modern world touches the ethereal. The people of Seoul say the Han River carries the dreams of a nation, and this bridge is where those dreams take flight. Does the water remember the faces of those who walk through its colorful veil, or does it wash away their secrets forever? Why does the ground appear to scream as a massive square of the earth hurls itself toward the heavens? This is the Slauerhoff Bridge, a tail bridge in Leeuwarden that defies every conventional law of bridge design. Completed in 2000, this fully automatic bascule bridge features a massive 15 by 15 meter deck that is lifted into a vertical position by a single colossal pylon. Unlike traditional drawbridges that split in the middle, this structure utilizes a counterweight system, allowing the entire road surface to be rapidly swung out of the way for passing ships. The engineering precision required to balance such a massive weight on a single mechanical arm is nothing short of a mathematical miracle. Visually, the bridge resembles a giant yellow robotic arm, or a mechanical hand tossing a piece of the city's crust into the clouds, leaving a gaping void where traffic once flowed. As the heavy machinery groans under the immense tension, a cold metallic light reflects off the steel, hinting at an industrial consciousness that never sleeps. Locals whisper that the rhythmic click-clack of the gears is actually the bridge counting the seconds until it can finally drop. Whatever you do, never stand too close to the edge when the sirens begin to wail. Can you hear the mechanical heart beating beneath the asphalt? Or is it just the sound of the wind warning you to turn back before the road disappears? Why would humanity construct a path across the horizon that seems to have no beginning and no end? Stretching an unbelievable 164.8 kilometers, the Danyang-Kunshan Bridge holds the undisputed title of the longest bridge on Earth. Completed in 2010 for the Beijing-Shanghai high-speed railway, it required a staggering force of 10,000 workers and a budget exceeding $8 billion. The bridge crosses various terrains, from lowland rice paddies and canals to the vast expanse of Yangcheng Lake, supported by over 9,500 concrete pillars. The technical challenge of ensuring stability over such a diverse geological landscape is an epic achievement of modern logistics. Visually, it looks like a silver dragon winding through the misty landscape, a concrete vein that connects the hearts of two megacities. As trains scream across its surface at 300 kilometers per hour, the structure vibrates with a high-pitched frequency that seems to pierce the soul. A shimmering, clinical light washes over the tracks at dawn, revealing a path that looks more like a stairway to the future than a railway. Legend has it that the bridge is so long it creates its own weather, trapping the spirits of the ancient marshes beneath its heavy shadow. Do the echoes of the high-speed engines carry the voices of progress, or are they screams for mercy from the land that was conquered? Standing as the colossal sentinel of New York Harbor, the Verrazzano-Narrows Bridge is a triumph of mid-century structural engineering. Completed in 1964 and designed by the legendary Othmar Ammann, this double-decked suspension bridge connects Staten Island and Brooklyn. For years, it held the title of the longest suspension span in the world, with a central span of 4,160 feet. The engineering is so vast that the two massive towers, rising 693 feet into the air, are not parallel. They are 1 5/8 inches farther apart at the top than at the base to account for the curvature of the Earth. Its construction required enough steel wire to wrap around the equator nearly 6 times, supporting a roadway that carries over 200,000 vehicles daily. Visually, the bridge resembles a silver gateway to the American dream, its elegant sweeping cables forming a majestic frame against the Atlantic horizon. At sunrise, the steel catches a pale blue light, symbolizing the unbreakable link between the city's diverse boroughs. New Yorkers often view the bridge as a testament to the idea that no distance is too great to be bridged by human will. There is a quiet sense of permanence here, a belief that as long as these towers stand, the spirit of the city remains unified. Can you feel the heartbeat of the metropolis through the hum of the asphalt? Or is it the pulse of the ocean itself? Copenhagen's Cirkelbroen is a poetic interruption in the flow of urban life, inviting pedestrians to linger rather than leap. Designed by the visionary artist Ólafur Eliasson and opened in 2015, this bridge consists of 5 staggered circular platforms of varying sizes. Each platform has its own towering mast, making the entire structure resemble a fleet of sailing ships docked in the historic harbor. The bridge features a rotating section that swings open with mechanical grace to allow large vessels to pass through the canal. Its design is a deliberate attempt to slow people down, encouraging them to engage with the water and their surroundings. Visually, it is a collection of floating rings, a complex puzzle of wood and steel cables that mimics the masts of a phantom ship lost in the city. Under the soft, ethereal Nordic blue light of the evening, the bridge assumes a spiritual quality, reflecting Denmark's deep maritime heritage. It is a place of quiet reflection, where the horizon seems to loop back on itself. The circle is the beginning and the end of all journeys, the locals often muse. Where does the path truly end when every step leads you back to the center? Nestled deep within the lush rainforests of Vancouver, the Capilano Suspension Bridge is an iconic marriage of history and natural majesty. Originally constructed in 1889 by George Grant Mackay, using hemp ropes and cedar planks, the bridge has been rebuilt several times to its current state, a 460-foot-long span hanging 230 feet above the rushing Capilano River. This engineering marvel relies on massive anchors embedded in 13 tons of concrete on either side of the canyon to support the weight of thousands of daily visitors. The technical challenge lies in the bridge's flexibility. It is designed to sway with the footsteps of travelers, creating a rhythmic, living connection with the surrounding forest. Visually, it resembles a narrow wooden ribbon lost in a sea of ancient emerald evergreens and swirling mountain mist. To walk across is to feel the immense power of the Pacific Northwest, as the scent of damp cedar and the roar of the water below overwhelm the senses. Local legend suggests that the bridge is a living entity that breathes with the forest, offering a perspective of the earth rarely seen by humans. It is a place where nature's grandeur humbles even the most modern traveler. Does the bridge sway to the rhythm of your heart, or is it trying to shake off the weight of the world? Stop and look closely. How does a 16th century stone arch support the weight of history without crumbling into the Venetian lagoon? The Rialto Bridge, the oldest of the 4 bridges spanning the Grand Canal in Venice, was completed in 1591 by Antonio da Ponte. Defying critics of the era who predicted its imminent collapse, the bridge is supported by 12,000 wooden pilings driven deep into the marshy soil, which have remained submerged and preserved for over 400 years. The structure features a single 28-meter span with 2 inclined ramps leading to a central portico, housing rows of elegant shops built directly onto the bridge. Visually, it is a white marble crown resting upon the green waters, its Renaissance architecture reflecting the opulence of the Venetian Republic. But as the shadows lengthen over the canal, the white Istrian stone takes on an eerie, pale glow. There is a persistent warning among the gondoliers. Never linger under the arch when the tide is high and the moon is hidden. Local whispers speak of the silent merchant, a shadow that roams the shops after midnight, looking for a debt that was never paid. Are those footsteps you hear on the cold stone, or the echoes of a city slowly sinking into the dark? Whatever you do, don't look back if you hear your name called from the water. Why does the Arabian Sea now carry a concrete spine that stretches into the infinite blue? The Mumbai Trans-Harbour Link, known as Atal Setu, is India's longest sea bridge, spanning 21.8 kilometers to connect the heart of Mumbai with the mainland. Built for $2.1 billion, it features a sophisticated orthotropic steel deck designed to withstand the immense corrosive power of the salty ocean air and the relentless monsoon winds. The engineering required the precision placement of thousands of precast segments over deep-sea currents, creating a 6-lane highway that floats above the waves. Visually, the bridge looks like a white dragon's backbone, a slender and elegant curve that cuts through the morning mist. At night, the bridge is illuminated by a piercing white light that reflects off the dark, churning waters, creating a path that looks like it was woven from starlight. There is a sacred rhythm to the tides beneath the pillars, a reminder of the ancient maritime spirits that once ruled these shores. Commuters often claim to feel a sense of weightlessness as they cross the center span, as if the bridge is lifting them toward the heavens. Is this bridge a symbol of modern unity, or a needle stitching together two worlds that were meant to remain apart? Step into a world where the medieval past refuses to die, but beware of the secret eyes watching from above. The Ponte Vecchio, or Old Bridge, in Florence is a stone-closed spandrel segmental arch bridge that has survived floods and wars since 1345. Its most famous feature is the cluster of jewelry shops that hang over the Arno River like colorful wooden boxes. Hidden above these shops is the Vasari Corridor, a secret passageway built for the Medici family to move unseen between the seat of government and their private palace. The engineering is a miracle of medieval density, withstanding the catastrophic flood of 1966 that nearly swept the city away. Visually, the bridge looks like a floating village of gold and ochre, a chaotic yet beautiful scar across the river. When the sun sets, the water turns blood red, reflecting the dark history of the butchers who once occupied the bridge before being replaced by goldsmiths. There is a chilling rumor that the Medici's spies still haunt the upper corridor, listening to the secrets of the tourists below. Legend says that those who make a promise on this bridge are bound by blood, not just words. Can you feel the weight of 1,000 secrets pressing down from the corridor above? Or is the bridge just leaning under the burden of its own age? Witness the iron titan of the Basque Country, the Vizcaya Bridge, the world's oldest transporter bridge. Completed in 1893 near Bilbao, Spain, this structure was designed by Alberto Palacio, a disciple of Gustave Eiffel. Spanning 160 meters across the Nervion River, it utilizes a high-altitude crossbeam and a suspended gondola to transport passengers and vehicles without disrupting the vital maritime traffic below. The use of lightweight, twisted steel cables was a revolutionary breakthrough at the time, earning it a prestigious place as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Visually, it appears as a skeletal prehistoric beast standing tall over the industrial port, its iron limbs reaching for the heavens while its heart dangles over the water. At dusk, the rust-toned metal absorbs the deep orange glow of the bay, evoking the spirits of 19th century sailors and the steam-powered dreams of the past. It stands as a symbol of maritime resilience, a bridge that refused to fall even through civil wars and shifting economies. The locals believe the bridge is the eternal anchor that holds the city to its seafaring roots. As the gondola glides silently across the void, do you feel the weight of a century hanging by a single wire? Look down and pray the wire holds. For one wrong step here leads to a cold eternity in the Hunza River. Often cited as the most dangerous bridge in the world, the Hussaini Hanging Bridge in Pakistan is a terrifying web of rusted cables and loosely spaced wooden planks. Located in the Gilgit-Baltistan region, it serves as the only link for villagers to cross Borat Lake. The bridge is a primitive engineering feat, born of necessity, constantly battered by high-altitude winds that cause it to swing violently over the icy, churning water. Many of the original planks are missing, leaving gaping holes that reveal the fatal drop below. Visually, it looks like the skeletal remains of a giant ladder, stretching precariously across a backdrop of jagged, snow-capped peaks. The air here is thin and cold, and the sound of the wind whistling through the wires sounds like a high-pitched scream. Locals warn travelers never to cross in pairs, as the bridge cannot handle the rhythm of two hearts beating in fear. It is said that the Bridge of Sighs remembers every soul who lost their footing in the dark. Is that the creaking of the wood you hear, or the bridge groaning as it prepares to snap? Don't look at the gaps. The abyss is waiting for you to blink. Why walk over the water when you can walk through it, like a prophet escaping a watery grave? The Moses Bridge, located at Fort de Roover in the Netherlands, is a sunken bridge that sits entirely within the moat of a 17th century fortress. Completed in 2011, this architectural anomaly was designed to be invisible from a distance, allowing the fort's defensive line to remain unbroken. It is constructed from Akoya wood, a highly processed timber treated to be waterproof and rot-resistant, with dams on either side to hold back the stagnant moat water. The engineering ensures that even during heavy rains, the water level remains just below the edge, creating the illusion of the water being parted by an invisible hand. Visually, it appears as a deep, dark trench cutting through the still green surface of the moat, like a fresh wound in the earth. As you descend into the bridge, the water rises to eye level, creating a claustrophobic and surreal experience. There is a local legend that the water in the moat is cursed, and that if you touch the surface while crossing, you will be pulled into the muddy depths by the spirits of fallen soldiers. Stay in the center of the path. The walls are thinner than they look. Is the water staying back because of the wood? Or is it just waiting for the right moment to collapse? Behold the mirror that captures the sun to power a nation's future. In the desolate salt deserts of Gujarat, the Kavda Solar Park is rising as the world's largest renewable energy installation. Spanning a staggering 72,000 hectares, an area 5 times the size of Paris, this $26 billion project is designed to generate 30 gigawatts of clean energy. The engineering challenge is immense, requiring millions of solar panels to be installed in a harsh, hypersaline environment where temperatures soar and the ground shifts. Engineers utilize specialized anti-corrosive coatings and robotic cleaning systems to maintain efficiency against the relentless desert dust. Visually, it looks like a fallen sky, a vast sea of shimmering blue glass that stretches beyond the horizon, masking the barren earth beneath. As the fierce Indian sun beats down, the panels emit a rhythmic, low-frequency hum, vibrating with the harnessed energy of a star. In the golden twilight, the park glows with a divine amber light, as if the sun itself has decided to dwell upon the earth. Is this massive grid a gateway to a sustainable paradise? Or have we trapped a celestial deity within a cage of silicon? Do not wander into the blue labyrinth after dark. The silence of the desert is heavy with the weight of stolen light. In the quiet, wind-sourced plains of Taylor, Texas, a silicon god is being meticulously assembled within a fortress of steel. This Samsung semiconductor plant, a $17 billion investment, represents the pinnacle of human precision. Spanning 200 acres, the facility is engineered to produce the world's most advanced 3nm and 4nm chips, requiring a clean room environment 10,000 times purer than a hospital operating theater. The structure is built upon massive vibration-dampening foundations to ensure that even the slightest tremor from the Texas soil does not disrupt the nanometer-scale lithography. Visually, the factory is a giant silver monolith, a windowless motherboard of architecture that stands in stark contrast to the surrounding cattle ranches. Under the sterile, blue-tinted floodlights, the building takes on a cold, crystalline radiance, embodying the soulless perfection of the digital age. There is a haunting stillness here, a sense that the future of human consciousness is being etched into silicon by invisible hands. Engineers speak of the ghost in the machine, a strange electromagnetic pulse that seems to emanate from the core of the fab. As the machines whir in the dark, one must wonder, are we creating tools to serve us? Or are we building the cradle for a superior synthetic life? Venture into the frozen northern heart of the Caspian Sea, where a forbidden fortress of iron battles the elements. The Kashagan oil field is one of the most complex engineering projects in history, located in an environment where temperatures swing from 35 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. To protect the wells from the crushing weight of shifting ice, engineers constructed D-Block, a series of artificial islands made of rock and steel that serve as self-contained industrial cities. The oil here is trapped under extreme pressure and contains deadly levels of hydrogen sulfide, requiring specialized nickel alloy pipes that can survive the sour gas. Visually, the islands look like steaming iron volcanoes rising from a sea of jagged black ice, their flares burning with an eerie orange glow against the gray horizon. The atmosphere is one of industrial dread, where the air smells of sulfur and the wind carries the metallic tang of heavy machinery. It is said that the deep Caspian is home to sleeping giants, and that the drilling has disturbed the ancient silence of the seabed. When the ice groans against the steel hulls at midnight, it sounds like a warning from the abyss. Are we extracting the lifeblood of the earth? Or are we slowly opening a door that should have remained locked? Can a city be summoned from the red sands of the desert by sheer royal decree? Or is it a mirage waiting for the wind to change? King Abdullah, economic city located in Rabigh, is a $100 billion mega project designed to be a global hub for trade and industry. Spanning 168 square kilometers, nearly the size of Washington, D.C., this city is anchored by the King Abdullah Port, one of the most technologically advanced maritime gateways on the Red Sea. The engineering feat involves transforming a barren coastal stretch into a sophisticated network of industrial zones, residential districts, and high-speed rail links. Visually, KAX appears as a gleaming, geometric scar of modernity etched into the ancient Arabian crust, where glass skyscrapers rise like crystalline shards against the backdrop of an endless desert. As the sun sets over the Red Sea, the city's lights flicker with a pale, artificial brilliance, creating a stark contrast with the primordial darkness of the surrounding dunes. There is a sense of a silent spirit inhabiting these half-empty streets, a ghost of a future that is yet to fully arrive. Is this the triumph of human ambition over nature? Or is the desert simply biding its time to reclaim its own? Why build a city of glass on top of a working rail yard, if not to prove that Manhattan can always find more room for the sky? Hudson Yards is the largest private real estate development in U.S. history, a 25 billion city within a city built upon a massive structural platform over the Long Island Railroad. The engineering required the installation of 300 caissons drilled into the bedrock to support the weight of several skyscrapers and the iconic vessel sculpture. Visually, the complex is a forest of blue glass giants that lean over a golden honeycomb-like structure, creating a canyon of immense wealth and architectural ambition. The shimmering reflections of the skyscrapers on the Hudson River create a distorted, liquid version of the city's power. There is a sense of predatory ambition here, a spirit of more that defines the New York skyline. As the wind whistles through the high-altitude plazas, the air feels thin and exclusive, as if the ground below has been forgotten. Who truly owns the air above the rails? And what happens to those who cannot afford to climb the glass stairs? Does the city look down on us? Or are we just shadows in its brilliant, reflected light? Look up. Is that a bridge? Or a giant, white prehistoric spider descending upon the neon heart of the Magic City? The Miami Signature Bridge, part of the I-395 reconstruction, is an $840 million project featuring 6 massive radiating arches that will redefine the city's skyline. Spanning 1,025 feet, the bridge is designed to be a sculptural landmark, with arches reaching up to 330 feet into the air. The engineering involves complex tension systems to support the roadway, while allowing the area beneath to be transformed into a 33-acre public park. Visually, the bridge looks like a frozen fountain of white concrete, its elegant curves mimicking the waves of the Atlantic Ocean. In the humid, tropical night, the arches are bathed in a vibrant spectrum of LED lights, reflecting the restless energy of Miami's nightlife. There is a celebratory, almost divine spirit to the structure, a feeling that the road itself has been elevated into a work of art. But as you drive beneath the towering white limbs, the scale of the bridge becomes overwhelming, almost suffocating. Does the arch hold up the road, or is it trying to catch the clouds? In a city built on water and dreams, how much weight can a single arch truly bear? Why did humanity build a palace of water and fire on a man-made island, if not to challenge the gods of the sea themselves? Rising from the crescent of Palm Jumeirah in Dubai, Atlantis. The Royal is a $1.4 billion architectural marvel that redefines luxury. Designed by Kohn Pedersen Fox, the structure consists of a series of stacked cantilevered blocks that allow for sky courts and private infinity pools. The engineering required for this 43-story masterpiece involved complex structural load distributions to support the massive weight of the water features high above the ground. Visually, the building resembles a futuristic Tetris game played by giants, a hive of gold and glass that shimmers with a restless, opulent energy. At night, the fountains dance with choreographed flames, casting a hellish yet beautiful orange glow over the tranquil Persian Gulf. There is a palpable sense of divine indulgence here, as if the spirit of the lost Atlantis has been resurrected in a form more extravagant than the original. As the mist from the sky pools drifts down toward the ocean, one must wonder, is this a sanctuary of the elite or a monument to the fleeting nature of earthly power? Can a web of steel and light save a city from the weight of its own success? Sound Transit. 3 is a gargantuan $54 billion expansion of the light rail system in the Puget Sound region of Washington. Spanning 62 miles of new track, the project involves building tunnels under hills, bridges over deep valleys, and stations that serve as the new anchors for a rapidly growing metropolis. The technical challenge lies in the varied geography of the Pacific Northwest, from the soft glacial soils of Seattle to the rugged terrain of the surrounding counties. Visually, the light rail appears as a slender silver thread winding through emerald forests and misty urban canyons, a modern lifeline for the rain-soaked commuters. Under the perpetual gray skies of the Northwest, the stations emit a warm amber glow, providing a sense of sanctuary against the damp cold. There is a quiet, rhythmic spirit to the rails, a mechanical pulse that matches the heartbeat of the city. Does the track lead toward a more connected future? Or is it just another loop in an endless concrete maze? As the train glides silently through the mist, who is waiting for you at the end of the line? Walk the rusted iron path where the ghost of industry has been transformed into a green, living vein that stitches a fragmented city back together. The Atlanta Beltline is a massive $4.8 billion urban redevelopment project that is transforming 22 miles of unused railroad corridors into a loop of parks, trails, and transit. Started in 2005, the project utilizes the historic rail beds that once defined the city's industrial era, repurposing them to foster community and environmental healing. Visually, the Beltline appears as an emerald ring binding the heart of Atlanta, a lush corridor of trees and public art where trains once thundered. Under the soft twilight dappled through the leaves, the air feels light and celebratory, yet the whispers of the old rails still linger beneath the pavement. There is a sense of a city finding its way back to its own skin, a spiritual reclamation of lost space. Can a path built on the scars of the past truly heal the divisions of the present? Never walk too fast. The spirits of the old industry are still watching from the shadows of the rusted bridges, Is it a mere station or a glass cathedral designed to redeem the soul of the weary traveler? The Moynihan Train Hall is a $1.6 billion transformation of the historic James A. Farley Post Office building, opened in 2021 to bring dignity back to New York Transit. Spanning 255,000 square feet, the hall features a breathtaking 92-foot-high skylight supported by massive 19th-century steel trusses. The engineering required a surgical gutting of the old masonry structure to install an acre of glass that floods the concourse with celestial light. Visually, it is a vast sky palace where the rugged iron of the past holds up the crystalline dreams of the future. The shimmering light washes away the subterranean grid of the city, offering a moment of sacred clarity before the journey. Does the hall exist to move people, or to remind them that every journey is a search for the light? Why do the massive steel cables of the GWB vibrate with a frequency that chills the spine of every traveler who crosses the Hudson? Connecting Washington Heights in Manhattan to Fort Lee in New Jersey, this double-deck suspension bridge was the longest in the world when it opened in 1931. With a total length of 1,450 meters and its iconic exposed steel towers, it stands as a rugged industrial sentinel of the Great Depression era. The bridge's 14 lanes of traffic carry over 100 million vehicles per year, making it one of the busiest corridors on the planet. Its engineering is a brutalist masterpiece, showcasing the raw power of riveted steel and the immense tension required to hold Manhattan to the mainland. Visually, it resembles a heavy iron spiderweb, trapping the Hudson River, its gray lattice catching the light, like the scales of a prehistoric fish. When the fog rolls off the river, the Little Red Lighthouse at its base looks like a tiny, terrified child cowering beneath the feet of a giant. Deep within the steel girders, the wind creates a mournful howl that many claim is the voice of the laborers who vanished during the construction. Beware the vibrations on the lower deck during a storm. Is it the wind testing the steel, or the ghosts of the past trying to pull the bridge into the dark waters? Why build a silver bullet that pierces the heart of the Lone Star State, connecting two giants in the blink of an eye? The Texas Central Railway is a proposed high-speed rail line designed to connect Dallas and Houston in just 90 minutes. Utilizing the legendary N700S Shinkansen technology from Japan, the project is estimated to cost $30 billion and will cover 240 miles of Texan landscape. The engineering challenge involves constructing a dedicated grade-separated track that must navigate the complex property rights and rural terrains of the South. Visually, the train appears as a sleek, white needle stitching together the sprawling urban horizons, a blur of motion that defies the traditional pace of Texas life. Under the blinding midday sun, the polished steel of the tracks vibrates with a high-frequency hum, embodying the restless spirit of modern velocity. There is a feeling of divine movement here, a sense that we are finally outrunning the limitations of distance and time. But as the train screams past the quiet cattle ranches and old farmsteads, do the spirits of the frontier watch in confusion? Is speed the only way to find our way home? Or are we simply running away from the stillness we once cherished? Inside the desolate expanse of the Nevada desert, a massive mechanical heart is beating, forging the lightning that will power the next century. Gigafactory Nevada is not just a factory, it is the machine that builds the machine, a gargantuan $5 billion facility designed to be the largest building in the world by footprint upon completion. Spanning millions of square feet, this high-tech monolith is engineered for the mass production of lithium-ion batteries and electric vehicle drivetrains, utilizing a highly integrated, automated manufacturing process. The structure sits on a massive foundation of reinforced concrete to support the precision robotics that operate with nanometer accuracy. Visually, the factory appears as a giant, white, diamond-shaped fortress, rising from the scorched earth, its roof covered in a sea of solar panels that shimmer like the scales of a futuristic serpent. Under the relentless desert sun, the building emits a low, electrical hum that vibrates through the dry air. There is a sense of a cold, synthetic evolution occurring within these walls, where the spirit of innovation has replaced the silence of the wilderness. As the white light reflects off the sterile walls, one must wonder, are we building the tools for a green utopia, or are we feeding a digital deity that never sleeps? Step into the terminal where the world's paths cross, but be careful not to lose your soul in the transition between skies. The John F. Kennedy International Airport is undergoing a massive $19 billion transformation to replace its aging infrastructure with world-class facilities. The project involves the construction of a new Terminal 1 and Terminal 6, creating a unified, state-of-the-art gateway to the United States. The engineering feat is monumental, requiring the complete overhaul of taxiways and terminals while maintaining the flow of millions of passengers. Visually, the new designs feature soaring glass ceilings and sweeping architectural lines that mimic the curve of an aircraft's wing. The interior is a hive of neon light and constant motion, a clinical paradise of efficiency and global commerce. There is a spiritual exhaustion that haunts the halls of any great airport, the collective energy of 1 million departures and arrivals. In the soft, blue glow of the midnight departure screens, do you feel the presence of those who never truly left? Does every flight take a piece of the city with it? Or does the airport simply serve as a massive hollow ribcage for the dreams of the traveler? Beware the crushing weight of the river above, for the lifeblood of the American Northeast is flowing through a century-old needle that is slowly fraying. The Hudson Tunnel project is a critical $16 billion endeavor to build 2 new rail tunnels between New Jersey and Manhattan, replacing the crumbling North River tunnels damaged by Superstorm Sandy in 2012. The engineering involves deploying massive tunnel boring machines to grind through the treacherous silts and bedrock beneath the Hudson River, creating a pressurized subterranean path for hundreds of daily trains. This project is the linchpin of the Gateway program, a massive logistics effort to prevent a total collapse of the regional economy. Visually, the tunnels look like a dark, infinite throat of concrete and steel, illuminated only by the rhythmic flash of passing signal lights. In the damp, echoing silence of the deep earth, the air feels heavy with the ghosts of the Irish and Italian laborers who dug the original passages by hand over 100 years ago. There is a primal fear in the vibration of the riverbed, a reminder of the water's eternal desire to reclaim its territory. Does the tunnel provide a passage to the future, or are we just holding our breath in a dark cage beneath the tide? How can a river's ancient rage be tamed by a concrete giant in the heart of the boreal forest? The Kiyask Generating Station, located on the Nelson River in Manitoba, is an $8.2 billion powerhouse completed in 2021. This massive engineering feat provides 695 megawatts of renewable energy, born from a unique partnership between Manitoba Hydro and 4 First Nations. The technical challenge involved diverting a massive, turbulent river to build a powerhouse that could withstand the brutal subarctic winters. Visually, the dam looks like a jagged gray scar across the wild white water, a fortress of stone holding back a liquid beast. In the flickering light of the aurora borealis, the concrete glows with a cold, pale energy, as if the spirits of the water are trapped within the turbines. Do you hear the river's song? Or is it a mourning cry for the land that was flooded? Look up at the jagged silhouette that defies the violent earthquakes of Mexico City. Is it a building or a prehistoric shield? Standing 246 meters tall, Torre Reforma was completed in 2016 as a masterpiece of seismic engineering. Its 2 massive concrete walls form a triangular prism designed to bend and absorb the energy of a magnitude 8.5 quake, while a historic 1920s house was moved and reintegrated into its base. Visually, the tower resembles a massive stone book open to the sky, its glass facade peeking out like a secret hidden between heavy pages. As the sun sets over the city, the gray concrete reflects a deep, bloody crimson, echoing the ancient spirit of Aztec resilience. There is a sacred silence within its heights, a feeling of absolute stability in an unstable world. Is this tower a monument to human safety, or a silent giant waiting for the earth to move? Step beneath the brick-and-mortar history of Amsterdam and discover a subterranean world of light and water that defies the weight of the past. The renovation of Amsterdam Central involved the massive underwater expansion of the station to accommodate new metro links and the world's most advanced bicycle parking facility. The engineering required the stabilization of the 19th century station, built on thousands of wooden piles, while carving out new halls beneath the IJ riverbed. Visually, the new interior is a vast, open cathedral of white stone and timber, where the pale light of the water filters through the glass. At dusk, the station glows with a soft amber radiance, reflecting the tireless spirit of a city that lives in harmony with the sea. There is a sense of divine geometry in the way the sunlight hits the polished floor, guiding the traveler toward the unknown. Does the station serve as a gateway to new horizons? Or is it a golden cage where we wait for a journey that never truly begins? Known affectionately as Mighty Mac, the Mackinac Bridge is a breathtaking feat of Midwestern perseverance spanning the Straits of Mackinac in Michigan. Opened in 1957 after decades of planning, this 5-mile-long suspension bridge connects the state's upper and lower peninsulas. Designed by David B. Steinman, the bridge was engineered to withstand the extreme winds and freezing temperatures of the Great Lakes, featuring a deck that can swing up to 35 feet sideways in high gusts. The central suspension span reaches 3,800 feet, supported by towers that plunge 210 feet below the water's surface into the glacial rock. Visually, The bridge looks like a delicate green lace suspended over the deep sapphire waters of Lake Michigan and Lake Huron, a thin line of civilization cutting through a vast wilderness. When the winter fog descends, the towers appear like ghostly giants guarding the passage to the north. There is a deep-seated pride in this structure, reflecting a proverb that the water divides, but the bridge unites the soul. For locals, crossing the Mac is a rite of passage, a journey between two worlds that feels both daring and sacred. Do the winds, howling through the cables, whisper stories of the ancient Great Lakes? Or are they just a reminder of the fragile thread connecting us to home? Suspended 126 feet above the valley floor, the Pontcysyllte Aqueduct is a masterclass in industrial audacity. Completed in 1805 by the legendary engineers Thomas Telford and William Jessup, this UNESCO World Heritage Site in Llangollen, Wales, carries the Llangollen Canal over the River Dee. It is a 1,007-foot-long engineering marvel, constructed from a pioneering combination of cast iron and masonry, featuring 18 magnificent stone arches that support a narrow iron trough. The technical precision required to seal these iron plates with a mixture of ox blood, lime, and boiling water in the 19th century remains a testament to human ingenuity. Visually, it resembles a thin silver ribbon stretching across a deep emerald abyss, like a giant's walkway forgotten by time. As the golden Welsh sun sets, the iron glows with a haunted radiance, reflecting the spirits of the laborers who defied gravity to bridge the sky. Local pride suggests that to walk here is to walk on the shoulders of giants who shaped the modern world. The shimmering reflection in the water below feels like a portal to a bygone era. Does the wind, whistling through the iron arches, carry the echoes of the Industrial Revolution, or just the chilling realization of your own precarious height? Look at the silver leviathan resting in the frozen north, its metallic skin shimmering with a predatory high-tech chill. Rogers Place in Edmonton, opened in 2016, is a $480 million architectural icon and the first LEED Silver-certified NHL arena in Canada. The engineering features the Winter Garden, a massive pedestrian bridge that spans over a busy traffic artery, serving as both a gateway to the arena and a public plaza protected from the subarctic cold. Visually, the building looks like a sleek, aerodynamic oil drop or a futuristic spaceship that has landed amidst the urban grit. During the long winter nights, the arena is bathed in a boreal neon glow, casting long, sharp shadows over the snow-covered streets. There is a haunting power in the silence of the arena before a game, a sense that the structure is a hollow ribcage waiting to be filled with the roar of 10,000 voices. Residents say the building breathes in the cold and exhales the heat of the crowd. Does the ice remember the fire of the game, or is the arena just a cold monument to our need for distraction? Step back and witness the skyscraper that twisted the sky, a white marble spine spiraling up to challenge the gods of the north. The turning torso in Malmö, designed by the visionary Santiago Calatrava and completed in 2005, is the first twisting skyscraper in the world. Its design is based on a human torso in mid-turn, with 9 segments of 5-story pentagons that twist a full 90 degrees from base to tip. The engineering features a massive structural core and an external steel spine that supports the immense tension of the rotation. Visually, the tower is a stunning abstraction of organic movement made of steel and glass, its white skin reflecting the cold, ethereal light of the Baltic Sea. At sunset, the tower takes on a spiritual quality, as if it were a celestial ladder reaching for the stars. It stands as a monument to the human spirit's desire to transcend the linear and the mundane. As the wind whistles through the twist, do you hear the music of the spheres, or the grinding of gears preparing to trap you in the clouds? What happens when the human spirit finally finishes the turn? Why is the earth being hollowed out beneath the waves of the Gulf, if not to feed the insatiable hunger of global commerce? The Port of Houston expansion, known as Project 11, is a $1.1 billion dredging operation designed to widen and deepen the Galveston Bay shipping channel. engineering involves removing millions of tons of sediment to allow the world's largest container ships to pass safely, all while maintaining the delicate ecological balance of the surrounding wetlands. This massive logistics effort is the linchpin of the Texas economy, ensuring the flow of energy and goods to the world. Visually, the project is a dark, churning void in the blue water, where giant dredgers move like prehistoric beasts across the bay. As the evening mist rolls in, the silhouettes of the cranes look like hooded figures guarding the gateway to the ocean. There is a palpable sense of industrial dread here, a feeling that the sea is reluctantly yielding its depths to the machines above. Are we opening a path to prosperity, or are we just digging a deeper grave for the environment? Hold your breath as the tracks dive beneath the Swedish coastline, where the silence of the stone is the only companion for the high-speed traveler. The Varberg Tunnel is a 3.1-kilometer rail tunnel beneath the town of Varberg, part of the Holland Line expansion, aimed at freeing the scenic coast from the noise of the rails. The engineering involved carving through the difficult Scandinavian bedrock while protecting the historic Varberg fortress above. Visually, the tunnel looks like a silver track in a cold stone throat. Illuminated by the rhythmic flash of blue signal lights. In the damp, echoing silence of the deep earth, the air feels heavy with the spirits of the ancient Norse landscape. There is a quiet, rhythmic spirit to the rails, a mechanical pulse that matches the heartbeat of the forest. Does the track lead toward a more connected future, or is it just another loop in an endless stone maze? Who is waiting for you at the end of the line when the light finally breaks through? Enter the glass bubbles where the jungle has reclaimed the city, a tropical dream encapsulated in the heart of a global tech giant. The Amazon spheres in Seattle, opened in 2018, are 3 intersecting glass domes that house over 40,000 plants from 30 different countries. The engineering involved creating a complex climate control system that maintains a living wall, and a high-altitude forest environment within a high-density urban core. The glass panels are etched with geometric patterns to manage light and heat, allowing a prehistoric ecosystem to thrive beneath the skyscrapers. Visually, the spheres look like giant translucent soap bubbles filled with exotic ferns and towering trees, a surreal contrast to the steel and concrete of downtown. In the diffuse green light of the interior, the air smells of damp earth and ancient growth, creating a spiritual sanctuary far removed from the digital world. It feels as though nature has been captured and put on display in a futuristic zoo. Can the spirit of the forest truly survive within a digital cage? Or is it just a beautiful ghost of the world we are paving over? Hold your breath as you dive beneath the Fraser River, where the weight of the water is a silent, heavy presence pressing against the walls of history. The original George Massey Tunnel, opened in 1959, was the first immersed tube tunnel in North America, a 629-meter concrete needle threaded through the river's silt. Now, a massive multi-billion-dollar replacement project is underway to address the tunnel's seismic vulnerabilities and crippling traffic congestion. The engineering for the new crossing involves massive deep foundation work and complex environmental protections for the vital salmon runs in the river above. Visually, the old tunnel feels like a dark, claustrophobic throat of yellow sodium light, while the plans for the new crossing promise a soaring monument to modern connectivity. In the damp, echoing silence of the crossing, there is a lingering memory of the river's crushing power. Local sailors warn that the Fraser never forgets a debt, and the tunnel is just a temporary intrusion in its territory. Is the path beneath the water a passage to the future? Or are we just holding our breath in a concrete trap, waiting for the river to wake up? How many decades does it take to dig a tunnel through the crowded memories and bedrock of New York City? The Second Avenue subway is perhaps the most famous phantom project in urban history, with plans dating back to 1919. Phase 1, which opened in 2017 for $4.5 billion, involved carving 3 massive stations out of Manhattan's schist rock using gargantuan tunnel boring machines. The engineering was a surgical operation beneath one of the densest urban environments on Earth, requiring the stabilization of century-old buildings above. Visually, the new stations appear as subterranean cathedrals of ceramic and steel, featuring vast, high-ceilinged mezzanines and vibrant contemporary art. The fluorescent flicker of the platform lights reflects off the polished tiles, creating a sterile yet awe-inspiring atmosphere far removed from the grit of the older lines. There is a haunting quality to the deep tunnels, where the wind carries the echoes of the ghost workers who labored on earlier, abandoned sections of the track. Does this steel vein lead the city toward a brighter future? Or is it just another labyrinth built to trap the spirits of the hurried? Never look too long into the dark tunnels beyond the platform light. Where east meets west, a silver thread stretches across the turquoise void, stitching together two continents and a million dreams. The Bosphorus Bridge, now known as the 15 July Martyrs Bridge in Istanbul, was the first permanent bridge to connect Europe and Asia upon its completion in 1973. Spanning 1,560 meters, this suspension marvel features aerodynamic steel decks designed to withstand the high winds and heavy currents of the Bosphorus Strait. The engineering was a triumph of international cooperation, creating a vital artery for a city that lives between two worlds. Visually, the bridge looks like a delicate white harp suspended over the dark, churning waters, its cables catching the morning mist like a spiderweb. At night, the bridge is bathed in a vibrant spectrum of LED lights, reflecting the restless energy of Istanbul's nightlife. There is a sacred, liminal spirit to this crossing. A feeling that you are walking between history and the future. As the wind howls through the cables, do you hear the echoes of the Silk Road, or just the frantic pulse of a city that never sleeps? Why does a golden span now rise over the blue Danube, connecting the rugged beauty of Romania to the heart of Europe? The Brăila Bridge is the largest bridge in Romania and the third longest suspension bridge in the European Union, spanning 1,274 meters. Completed in 2023, the project involved the use of specialized high-strength steel and a complex cable spinning process to support the massive roadway over the shifting currents of the Danube. The engineering provides a critical link for the regional economy, bypassing the slow ferry crossings that once defined life on the river. Visually, the bridge looks like a golden crown resting upon the water, its towers reaching 192 meters into the sky like silent sentinels of progress. At sunset, the steel cables catch a deep amber glow, reflecting the ancient spirit of the river and the modern ambition of the nation. There is a sacred sense of connection here, a feeling that the bridge has finally unified the divided banks of the soul. Can you feel the heartbeat of the river through the hum of the asphalt, or is it the pulse of the continent itself? A new temple of sport and culture is rising from the volcanic soil of Oahu, built to honor the warriors of the Pacific and the spirit of Ohana. The project to replace the aging, rusted Aloha Stadium involves a $400 million investment to create a modern, multi-purpose coliseum and a vibrant mixed-use district. The engineering must account for the unique tropical climate and the corrosive salt air of the islands, utilizing advanced materials to ensure the new structure does not suffer the rusting fate of its predecessor. Visually, the design mimics the fluid lines of a surfboard and the rugged strength of the volcanic landscape, draped in colors that reflect the Hawaiian sunset. As the sun dips below the horizon, the stadium's frame catches a warm, orange glow, symbolizing a rebirth of the island's gathering place. There is a palpable mana, or spiritual power, associated with this site, the echoes of legendary games and concerts past. Will the new stadium be able to hold the spirits of the old, or is the mana of the islands tied to the land itself? Can a desolate industrial wasteland be reborn as a sanctuary of light and water along the Chicago River? Lincoln Yards is a $6 billion mega development transforming 53 acres of former scrapyards and tanneries into a vibrant urban ecosystem. The engineering involves a total environmental reclamation of the soil and the construction of massive life science hubs and residential towers. Visually, the project looks like a forest of organic, glass-clad giants rising from the riverbank, blurring the line between the city's metallic heart and the natural world. The water reflects a new, sacred skyline, cleansing the scars of Chicago's heavy metal past with a shimmering blue hope. Does the earth truly forgive us for the toxins of the past? Or is this beauty just a mask for the ground's exhaustion? Who truly owns the peace found within these glass walls? Is the river finally free? Or is it just under new management? At the edge of the world's most famous skyline, a green mountain made of glass and ambition is climbing toward the divine. The Spiral, designed by Bjarke Ingels Group and completed in 2022, is a 1,031-foot-tall skyscraper that features a continuous, cascading ribbon of hanging gardens. The engineering required a unique stepped recess design to allow every floor access to outdoor terraces, creating a living vertical forest in the heart of Manhattan. Visually, it is a massive, futuristic pyramid where the jungle twists around the skyscraper like an emerald crown on a glass king. As the tower pierces the clouds, it stands as a monument to human persistence against the crushing gravity of time. Are we building toward heaven to find God, or just to look down upon our own smallness? In the end, does the spiral lead us up to the stars, or back into the soil from which we came? The Queen City is preparing to welcome a new heart. But do you hear the rhythmic pulse of the tracks beneath the steel? The Charlotte Gateway Station is a transformative multimodal transit hub in North Carolina, designed to consolidate Amtrak, Greyhound, and local bus services into a single, seamless nexus. This massive infrastructure project involves the construction of a new rail station and the revitalization of the surrounding urban landscape, aiming to bridge the gap between historic neighborhoods and the modern skyline. The engineering focuses on a sophisticated track layout that allows for high-frequency passenger rail while maintaining the heavy freight flow of the American South. Visually, the station is a sleek monolith of glass and polished steel, reflecting the clouds like a giant grounded mirror. At dusk, the station's interior glows with a soft, inviting amber light, symbolizing a new dawn for Southern connectivity. There is a sacred sense of transition here, a feeling that every journey through this hall is a step toward a more unified future. Is the station a gateway to a new life, or does it hold the spirits of those who are eternally passing through? Imagine a city that does not yet exist, a utopia waiting for a home in the sun-scorched silence of the American desert. Telosa is a conceptual $400 billion city proposed by billionaire Mark Loring, aimed at being the most sustainable and equitable metropolis on Earth. Planned for the arid landscapes of Nevada, Utah, or Arizona, the city is designed around the principle of equitism, where the land is owned by a community endowment. The engineering vision includes a massive equitism tower that harvests solar energy and water, surrounded by circular green zones and autonomous transit systems. Visually, the blueprints depict a forest of organic, spire-like skyscrapers that look like alien flora growing from the dust. In the mind's eye, the city glows with an ethereal golden dawn light, symbolizing a new beginning for human society. Yet, there is a lingering sense of spiritual isolation in this desert dream, a question of whether a perfect society can truly be engineered from scratch. As the heat waves distort the horizon, where Tolosa might one day stand, do you see a beacon of hope or a magnificent hallucination? Can a city built on ideals survive the harsh reality of the shifting sands? Boston's long-awaited pulse is finally beating through the historic neighborhoods of Somerville and Medford. But what echoes did it awaken in the soil? The Green Line extension is a $2.3 billion transit project that added 4.7 miles of new track and 7 stations to the oldest subway system in America. The engineering feat involved the total reconstruction of bridges and the relocation of existing heavy rail tracks within a narrow, densely populated urban corridor. This expansion provides a vital lifeline to communities that were once cut off from the city's core, fostering a new era of urban density and environmental sustainability. Visually, the new tracks look like silver veins stitching through the brick and mortar history of Boston, their clean lines contrasting with the grit of the old city. At night, the stations emit a warm, clinical white light, providing a sense of safety against the cold New England damp. There is a quiet, rhythmic spirit to the rails, a feeling that the city is finally breathing through a new lung. Does the track lead toward a more connected future? Or is it just another loop in an endless concrete maze? Rising from the edge of the San Francisco Bay, a throne of glass and gold stands as a monument to the restless spirit of a championship dynasty. The Chase Center, home of the Golden State Warriors, is a $1.4 billion privately funded arena that serves as the crown jewel of the Mission Bay district. The engineering involved complex seismic dampening systems to protect the massive structure from the unstable coastal soil, while its exterior features an intricate skin of white aluminum and glass. This high-tech coliseum is a hive of digital connectivity, designed to offer an immersive experience for 18,000 fans simultaneously. Visually, the arena resembles a spinning white bowl or a giant polished pearl resting on the waterfront, its curves mimicking the movement of the tides. During a night game, the building erupts into a violent display of golden light, casting a predatory glow over the dark waters of the bay. There is a palpable sense of celebration and wealth here, a spirit of triumph that defines the modern city. Is this the peak of human entertainment? Or are we just cheering for a scoreboard that has already calculated our emotions? Why did humanity lift a bridge while the world continued to drive across it, if not to challenge the very laws of gravity? The Bayonne Bridge, connecting New Jersey and Staten Island, underwent a $1.7 billion Raise the Roadway project to accommodate the gargantuan Neo-Panamax ships entering the port of New York and New Jersey. Engineers constructed a new road deck 64 feet higher than the original 1931 structure, all while maintaining traffic on the lower level. A feat of structural surgery never before attempted on this scale. The technical precision required to balance the tension of the historic steel arch while installing new supports, is a masterpiece of modern logistics. Visually, the bridge resembles a soaring steel bow that has been pulled tighter by the hands of giants, its white lattice reaching for the heavens. Under the cold Atlantic mist, the bridge takes on a ghostly, monumental quality, reflecting the raw power of industrial ambition. It stands as a sentinel over the harbor, a reminder that we can always rise higher. Does the bridge feel the weight of the massive ships below? Or is it simply looking for a way to touch the stars? Do not blink, or you will miss a whole island flashing by like a silver ghost. The Taiwan High-Speed Rail is a $15 billion engineering marvel that redefined the geography of the nation upon its completion in 2007. Stretching 345 kilometers from Taipei to Kaohsiung, the line was constructed on massive viaducts designed to withstand the violent tremors of the Pacific Ring of Fire and the relentless lashing of tropical typhoons. The technical precision of the Shinkansen technology ensures that trains glide at 300 kilometers per hour with such stability that a coin can stand on its edge inside the cabin. Visually, the tracks look like a white lightning bolt stitching the western coast together, a concrete spine supporting the country's economic heart. As the train screams through the lush mountain tunnels, a clinical blue light reflects off the sterile glass, contrasting with the ancient green of the peaks. Local legends speak of mountain watchers who see only a blur of light where the train passes, a phantom of progress outrunning the wind. Does the speed allow us to master time? Or are we just blurring the present into a forgettable streak? Step into the loop that never sleeps, a subterranean ring where time bends in a perfect automated circle beneath the cobblestones of Copenhagen. The Cityringen, completed in 2019 for $3.2 billion, is a 15.5-kilometer twin-tunnel metro line that serves 17 new stations, linking the city's major districts in a seamless journey. The engineering involved the use of massive tunnel boring machines to navigate just meters away from the foundations of historic cathedrals and palaces, operating 24 hours a day with fully driverless trains. Visually, the project resembles a technological necklace buried deep underground, its stations featuring unique color-coded tiles that reflect the character of the neighborhoods above. In the polished chrome reflections of the platform, the light takes on an ethereal, sterile quality that feels like a portal to the future. There is a local myth that the tunnel follows the path of the Midgard serpent, coiling around the heart of the city to keep it from drifting into the sea. As the automated cars glide silently through the dark, do you feel the rhythm of the city's soul? Or are you just a passenger in a machine that has no end? stop and look at the blue expanse covering the cradle of civilization. How many secrets did we drown to power the modern world? The Ilisu Dam on the Tigris River is a massive 1,200 megawatt hydroelectric project that serves as a cornerstone of Turkey's southeastern Anatolia project. Standing 135 meters tall, the dam created a reservoir that submerged the 12,000-year-old town of Hasankeyf, along with countless archaeological treasures. The engineering required the relocation of ancient monuments and the construction of a massive rockfill embankment to hold back the historical weight of the Tigris. Visually, the dam is a sheer wall of gray stone, a brutalist barrier that has transformed a rugged canyon into a still, sapphire lake. As the sun sets over the water, the surface takes on a deep, blood-red hue, reflecting the submerged memories of 1,000 generations. There is a mournful silence to the reservoir. A feeling that the spirits of the ancestors are watching from the depths. Is this progress, or have we traded our souls for a grid of electricity? What happens when the water eventually whispers back the secrets we tried to hide? Behold the concrete giant of the Artvin Mountains, a sheer cliff of human ambition that challenges the heavens themselves. The Yusufeli Dam is the tallest dam in Turkey and the 5th tallest arch dam in the world, standing at a staggering 275 meters. Built in a narrow, jagged canyon on the Choru River, the engineering involved the use of advanced double curvature arch technology to distribute the immense pressure of the reservoir into the surrounding mountain walls. This massive project provides enough hydroelectric power to fuel a city of millions, but it required the complete relocation of the town of Yusufeli to a higher plateau. Visually, the dam is a majestic, curving wall of pale gray concrete that stands in stark contrast to the deep emerald peaks of the surrounding landscape. Under the harsh mountain sun, the structure glows with a divine clinical radiance, embodying the raw power of human engineering. There is a sense of overwhelming pressure here, a feeling that the earth is being squeezed by the concrete. Does the arch hold up the water, or is it trying to push back the sky? enter a realm where the impossible is carved directly into the ancient cliffs of the Tuwaiq Mountains. Qiddiya is not just a city. It is a 30 billion gigaproject designed to be the global capital of entertainment. Spanning 367 square kilometers near Riyadh, it features the world's fastest and tallest roller coaster, Falcon's Flight, and the first ever Dragon Ball theme park featuring a 70-meter-high Shenron dragon. The engineering involves massive excavation into limestone plateaus and the integration of cutting-edge robotics within every attraction. Visually, the site appears as a neon-soaked oasis emerging from the beige desert, a kaleidoscope of futuristic geometry against a backdrop of prehistoric rock. When the desert wind whistles through the jagged mountain peaks, the city lights flicker like a digital mirage, blurring the line between reality and fantasy. There is a spiritual intensity to this place, a feeling that the sands are being commanded to dream. Locals whisper that the cliffs remember the era of nomadic tribes, watching in silence as steel dragons take their place. As the dragon Shenron glows under the Arabian moon, do you see a playground for the wealthy or a monument to human hubris? Beware the shadows in the canyons. The desert always eventually reclaims its own. Look up at the tallest spire in the European Union and see a glass needle that has finally pierced the clouds over Warsaw. The Varso Tower, standing at 310 meters, is a masterpiece of modern architectural design by Foster Plus Partners. The engineering features a high-performance glass facade and a sophisticated structural core designed to withstand high-altitude winds while providing a green, urban environment with its rooftop terraces. This skyscraper is the crown jewel of Warsaw's economic rebirth, a symbol of a city that has risen from the ashes to reclaim its place in the world. Visually, the tower is a slender, crystalline spire that reflects the shifting colors of the Polish sky, creating a liquid version of the city's power. There is a sense of predatory ambition here, a spirit of more that defines the new skyline. As the wind whistles through the observation deck, the air feels thin and exclusive, as if the ground below has been forgotten. Are we building toward heaven to find God, or just to look down upon our own smallness? At the heart of the Netherlands, a giant arrowhead of stainless steel points toward the future, inviting the world to enter a sanctuary of light. Rotterdam Central is more than a station. It is a $700 million architectural statement of resilience. Completed in 2014, the station features a massive, angled roof clad in wood and stainless steel, designed to integrate the urban fabric of the city with the international rail network. The engineering incorporates 3,000 solar panels, one of the largest rooftop solar arrays in Europe, blending sustainable energy with high-speed logistics. Visually, the interior is a vast open cathedral of warmth, where the pale timber ceiling contrasts with the cold, sharp geometry of the exterior shell. At dusk, the station glows with a soft, amber radiance, reflecting the tireless spirit of a city that was once destroyed and then rebuilt from the ashes. There is a sense of divine geometry in the way the sunlight hits the polished floor, guiding the traveler toward the unknown. It is a place where time seems to slow down, even as the trains accelerate. Does the station serve as a gateway to new horizons, or is it a golden cage where we wait for a journey that never truly begins? Do not trust the calm surface of the Ohio River, for beneath lies a concrete titan that took 30 years to summon from the depths. The Olmsted Locks and Dam, located on the border of Illinois and Kentucky, is the largest and most expensive inland water project in U.S. history, costing over $3 billion. The engineering involved the in-the-wet construction method, where massive concrete shells were cast on land and then moved into the river by a gargantuan gantry crane to be placed on the riverbed. This system replaces two aging locks, ensuring the smooth passage of millions of tons of commerce that fuel the American heartland. Visually, the dam appears as a series of submerged gray fortresses, their sharp lines cutting through the churning, muddy water. As the sun sets over the river, the concrete surfaces turn a deep, bruised purple, reflecting the heavy labor of the thousands who built it. There is a primal, heavy spirit to the site, a feeling that the river has been bound in chains of stone. Is this a victory over the currents, or is the water just waiting for the concrete to crumble? In the sun-baked scrubland of Austin, a digital consciousness is taking physical form within a silver fortress of unimaginable scale. Gigafactory Texas is the headquarters of Tesla and one of the largest factories in the world by volume, spanning over 10 million square feet of floor space. Engineered to be the machine that builds the machine, it utilizes massive gigapress casting machines to produce vehicle structures in single pieces. revolutionizing the speed of manufacturing. The building is a self-contained ecosystem, featuring a massive rooftop solar array and a highly integrated automation network that operates with ghostly precision. Visually, the factory is a giant, windowless motherboard of architecture, a gleaming silver scar on the Texan landscape that reflects the harsh midday sun. Under the sterile, blue-tinted floodlights of the night shift, the building vibrates with a high-frequency hum that sounds like a mechanical prayer. There is a haunting sense of a post-human future here, a place where the spirit of innovation has transcended biological limits. Are we building the tools for a sustainable era? Or are we constructing the cradle for a synthetic god that will outlast us all? Deep beneath the historic streets of Ottawa, a steel pulse is beating through the frozen bedrock, hidden from the eyes of the Parliament above. The Confederation Line, opened in 2019, represents the largest infrastructure project in the history of Canada's capital. Costing over $2.1 billion, the project's centerpiece is a 2.5-kilometer tunnel carved through the difficult, shifting geology of the downtown core, requiring specialized mining techniques to avoid disturbing the foundations of centuries-old landmarks. The engineering feat allows for high-frequency light rail service that connects the east and west, bypassing the city's notorious winter gridlock. Visually, the line appears as a subterranean red vein pumping life into the cold capital, its stations designed with a minimalist, crystalline aesthetic. Under the flickering lamps of the deep tunnels, the air feels unnaturally still, as if the ground itself is holding its breath. There is a sense of a buried giant waking up, its mechanical groan echoing through the limestone. What stays behind in the dark when the train leaves the platform? Is it just the echo of the commute, or the heavy silence of the deep earth? In the heart of London, a navy blue Colosseum of glass and light stands as a monument to the modern era's hunger for spectacle. The Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, completed in 2019 for $1 billion, is a marvel of multi-purpose engineering, featuring the world's first dividing, retractable football pitch that reveals a synthetic turf underneath for NFL games. The facility is a hive of high-tech sensors and luxury suites designed to create an acoustic cauldron that amplifies the roar of 62,000 fans. Visually, the stadium looks like a futuristic hive of glass and dark steel, its aerodynamic lines reflecting the clinical brilliance of the city's lights. During a night match, the stadium erupts into a violent display of white and blue light, casting a predatory glow over the surrounding streets. There is a strange, spiritual vacuum in this place, where the ritual of the arena has been hollowed out and replaced by a digital ghost. Is this the peak of human entertainment? Or are we just cheering for a scoreboard that has already calculated our emotions? Why do the tracks of the Bronx suddenly pulse with a new, frantic energy as they turn toward the heart of the world? The Penn Station Access Project is a transformative $3 billion infrastructure venture that will bring Metro North Railroad service directly into Manhattan's Penn Station for the first time. The engineering feat involves the total reconstruction of 4 new stations in the Bronx and the rehabilitation of the historic Hellgate Line, a massive steel arch bridge that has stood for over a century. By utilizing existing freight tracks and integrating them into the commuter network, the project creates a vital new artery for the city's transit system. Visually, the project looks like a surgical graft of modern glass and steel onto the rugged, industrial skin of the old city. As the trains glide across the East River, the sunlight catches the rusted rivets of the old bridges, creating a haunting contrast between the grit of the past and the sheen of the new. There is a restless spirit in the connection, a feeling that the city is finally breathing through a lung that had been closed for generations. Does the track lead to a more unified city? Or are we just accelerating the pace of our own exhaustion? Look to the horizon of Montreal and see a white ghost gliding silently through the snow, a train with no eyes and no driver. The REM is a $7 billion automated light rail network that is currently the largest public transit project in Quebec's history. Spanning 67 kilometers of dedicated track, it connects the suburbs, the airport, and the downtown core into a single high-frequency loop. The engineering challenge involves navigating the extreme Canadian winters, requiring specialized heated tracks and climate-controlled stations to ensure the 100% electric, driverless fleet operates without interruption. Visually, the trains appear as sleek, futuristic capsules that cut through the misty landscape like a silver needle through gray cloth. In the soft, blue glow of a Montreal winter evening, the elevated tracks look like a celestial ladder stretching over the frozen city. There is a clinical, almost eerie stillness to the automated motion, as if the city is being moved by an invisible hand. Locals whisper that the trains carry the silence of the North, a mechanical spirit that ignores the wind and the cold. Who is truly in control when the machine moves by its own logic? Is this the ultimate freedom of movement, or a path where we have finally surrendered our will to the rails? Beneath the neon glow of the City of Angels, a gateway to the heavens is being rebuilt with the precision of a celestial clock. This $15 billion modernization project is one of the largest public works programs in California history, featuring a 2.25-mile automated people mover and the sophisticated west gates at Tom Bradley International Terminal. The engineering focuses on a seamless, high-tech integration of light and movement, utilizing massive spans of glass and aerodynamic steel to handle 80 million passengers annually. Visually, the terminals appear as a silver, liquid labyrinth reflecting the endless horizon of the Pacific. As the sun dips below the runway, the structure glows with a divine amber radiance, acting as a temple for the modern nomad. When we fly, do we leave our heavy hearts on the tarmac, or do they follow us into the blue? Is this a sanctuary, or just a beautiful cage for the restless? Two worlds meet atop a cable-stayed harp that sings a haunting song of steel and salt air. Completed in 2018 for $1.5 billion, the new Goethals Bridge connects Elizabeth, New Jersey with Staten Island, New York. The engineering features dual spans supported by 4 massive V-shaped concrete towers and 144 stay cables that provide essential seismic resilience. The technical challenge involved building the new bridge directly adjacent to the old one while maintaining the flow of 80,000 vehicles daily. Visually, the bridge looks like a pair of ghostly white wings reaching for the sky, their cables forming a perfect, divine geometric fan. In the soft gray mist of the harbor, the bridge appears as a ladder to the stars. Does the bridge merely connect land, or is it a thread stitching together the fragmented memories of the sea? What happens to the song when the wind stops? In the heart of Puerto Madero, Buenos Aires, a giant white needle pierces the sky. But be warned, this woman's bridge has a mind of its own. Designed by Santiago Calatrava and opened in 2001, this rotating pedestrian bridge is a marvel of cantilevered engineering. The bridge features a single 60-meter pylon inclined at a 39-degree angle, which acts as a counterweight to the bridge deck. When a ship needs to pass, the entire central section rotates 90 degrees on a massive computer-controlled pedestal, swinging out over the water with the grace of a clock hand. Visually, it is a stunning abstraction of a couple dancing the tango. The pylon representing the man and the deck representing the woman in a mid-turn pose. The brilliant white steel reflects the Argentine sun with a blinding intensity, making it look like a celestial instrument fallen to earth. However, when the fog rolls in from the Rio de la Plata, the bridge takes on a ghostly, predatory appearance. There is a chilling urban legend about a woman in white who appears on the bridge during the rotation, her silhouette blending with the steel. Locals warn that if the bridge stops moving while you are on it, you have been chosen to join her dance forever. Do you hear the music of the tango, or the grinding of gears preparing to trap you in the middle of the river? Deep beneath the frozen, windswept prairies of Saskatchewan, a gargantuan mechanical heart is preparing to beat. The Jansen Potash Project is one of the largest and most expensive mining ventures in Canadian history, with an investment exceeding $10 billion. To reach the vast potash deposits, engineers had to sink two massive shafts over 1,000 meters deep, utilizing ground-freezing technology to prevent groundwater from flooding the construction site. This industrial titan is designed to produce millions of tons of fertilizer annually, playing a critical role in global food security. Visually, the site is dominated by towering steel headframes that stand like lonely sentinels against the flat, infinite horizon of the Canadian plains. Under the cold, clinical glare of the site's floodlights, the frozen ground takes on a ghostly, metallic sheen, reflecting the brutal efficiency of modern extraction. There is a spiritual weight to the silence of the prairies, a feeling that the earth is reluctantly yielding its ancient salts to the machines above. As the hum of the deep earth drills vibrates through the soil, does the land whisper a warning? What price does the planet demand for the minerals we steal from its darkest depths? In the high-tech heart of Silicon Valley, a fortress of data and grass stands as a monument to the digital age's hunger for spectacle. Levi's Stadium, home of the San Francisco 49ers, is a $1.3 billion marvel of sustainable engineering and smart technology. It was the first stadium in the United States to receive LEED Gold certification, featuring a 27,000 square foot green roof and hundreds of solar panels that power its operations. The facility is a hive of fiber optic cables, designed to handle the massive data demands of 70,000 fans simultaneously connecting to the cloud. Visually, the stadium looks like a giant open-air motherboard, its white steel trusses and glass suites reflecting the clinical brilliance of California's sun. During a night game, the stadium erupts into a violent display of neon light, casting a predatory glow over the surrounding office parks. There is a strange, spiritual vacuum in this place, where the roar of the crowd is mediated through the blue light of 1,000 smartphone screens. It feels as though the ancient ritual of the arena has been hollowed out and replaced by a digital ghost. Is this the peak of human entertainment? Or are we just cheering for a scoreboard that has already calculated our emotions? Why would humanity pierce the very heart of the Alps, if not to prove that no mountain is too high to be conquered by the rail? The Mont Cenis Base Tunnel, the centerpiece of the Lyon-Turin high-speed link, is a gargantuan $25 billion project featuring a 57.5-kilometer tunnel through the granite soul of the mountains. Once completed, it will be the longest rail tunnel in the world, allowing trains to bypass the steep, winding mountain passes at speeds of 220 kilometers per hour. The engineering involves the use of massive tunnel boring machines that must endure the crushing pressure of thousands of meters of rock and the intense heat of the Earth's core. Visually, the project appears as a dark, infinite throat of concrete and steel, hidden deep beneath the snow-capped peaks. In the damp, echoing silence of the deep earth, the air feels heavy with the spirits of the ancient mountains. There is a primal fear in the vibration of the tunnel walls, a reminder of the mountain's eternal desire to crush the intrusion. Does the tunnel provide a passage to the future? Or are we just holding our breath in a dark cage beneath the stone? Behold the glowing chameleon of Munich, a translucent white cloud that changes its skin to match the spirit of the game. The Allianz Arena, opened in 2005, is famous for its exterior of inflated ETFE plastic panels. The first in the world to be able to change color entirely. The engineering features a lightweight steel roof that covers 75,000 seats, creating an atmosphere of intense focus and acoustic power. This high-tech fortress is the home of FC Bayern Munich, a temple where the ritual of sport is elevated to a state of luminous beauty. Visually, the arena resembles a giant, glowing cushion or a celestial raft resting on the Bavarian plains, its white panels shimmering with a restless energy. Under the deep blue German night, the arena burns with a fierce red or white light, casting a divine glow over the horizon. There is a sacred rhythm to the cheers here. A reminder of the ancient spirits of competition. Does the light reflect the passion of the fans, or is it just a digital mask for the machine? In the beating heart of China, a titan of crystal and steel emerges that defies the logic of our era. We are not simply before a development center, but before the threshold of a new civilization, the Wuhan Future City. This is the epicenter of a silent revolution where silicon replaces the soul, and the algorithm becomes the new destiny of humanity, marking the start of an era that previously only existed in dreams. Officially established in the year 2010 as one of the 4 strategic innovation cities at a national level, this complex covers a colossal surface of 66 square kilometers dedicated exclusively to radical technology. Here, more than 1,000 cutting-edge companies converge to rewrite the laws of physics, transforming what was once virgin land into a gigantic electronic brain that never rests. Its most iconic structure, the Solar Energy Building, rises like a metallic lotus flower 128 meters high, designed to absorb the sun's breath. Seen from the heights, the infrastructure unfolds like an immense organic motherboard, where the buildings act as microchips bathed in a constant silvery glow. Its towers are not mere concrete constructions. They are needles of light that seem to want to pierce the fabric of reality itself to extract the deepest secrets of the cosmos. When the sun sets, LED lights bathe the avenues in a spectral blue, evoking the presence of a digital deity that observes every movement in absolute silence. Have you ever imagined a metropolis that breathes under your feet, defying gravity and traditional urbanism? Welcome to Chengdu SKP, a masterpiece of modern engineering that has redefined the concept of public space by sinking an entire city below the Earth's surface to preserve the harmony of the skyline. This complex represents the pinnacle of urban planning, where technical functionality meets respect for the landscape. Officially opened in December 2022, this colossal project is crowned as the largest sunken shopping center in China, covering a total construction area exceeding 500,000 square meters. Approximately 99% of its structure is below ground level, extending to depths of up to 30 meters. Here, civil engineering has managed to integrate mass transport nodes and luxury commercial districts into a sunken park design that defies the laws of conventional architecture. From the surface, the place does not look like a market, but a futuristic oasis. The ventilation structures and entrances emerge like totems of light and glass fountains that look like minerals sprouting from the earth. Seen from the heights, the complex resembles a perfectly carved technological crater, a green lung that hides a labyrinth of neon and steel in its depths. As the evening light filters through the skylights, the place is bathed in an amber glow that evokes the serenity of a sanctuary. What happens when art stops being an abstraction to become a symphony of glass on the riverbanks? In the ancient city of Nanjing, the Jiangsu Grand Theater rises as the definitive monument to human sensitivity, a sacred place where silence and melody coexist in an eternal embrace that defies the fragility of time and matter. Officially completed in the year 2017, this colossus of culture extends over a colossal surface of approximately 270,000 square meters, consolidating itself as one of the vastest artistic centers in all of Asia. Its facilities house a monumental opera hall with a capacity for 2,300 spectators and multiple stage spaces designed with mathematical and technological precision that seek absolute acoustic perfection in every corner of the venue. Seen from the heights, the complex evokes the poetic image of 4 gigantic dewdrops resting delicately on a lotus leaf, or perhaps diamonds carved by the Yangtze River itself that reflect the immensity of the sky. Its skin of metal and glass unfolds like a network of silvery light, organically integrating into the aquatic landscape that surrounds it. When the night lights come on, the theater emits a celestial glow that seems to invoke the presence of ancient muses over the waters. There is a sense of deep peace inside it, as if the energy of art had the power to purify the visitor's spirit. Is this not the definitive temple where humanity can finally commune with the invisible through pure beauty?